Well, everyone, it is time for us to go ahead and talk about Apple's certified refurbished line of phones, and we can go ahead and compare it against a used iPhone. Now, this is kind of interesting because a used iPhone can be brought and bought really anywhere. You don't have to go one specific area. You can buy used iPhones from, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, tons of other websites like that. But if you want to get a certified refurbished iPhone, you realistically only have the provider and supplier of the phone, which is Apple. Now you can get certified refurbished really anywhere else, but if you want them straight from Apple, you will have to go on Apple's website and right immediately, this is the biggest difference immediately, you are getting a much wider range of devices you can buy from a used iPhone rather than a certified refurbished iPhone. So what does this mean? Well, if you make your way over to Apple certified refurbished, store right now, you may see several different products. But if you narrow down to iPhones, there's only realistically right now a few different iPhones you can buy. And these are all an iPhone 11 Pro or an iPhone 12. Now, this is an issue in and of itself. I love being able to buy these iPhones. However, there's still not that many available. They don't have any iPhone 13s. They don't even have anything older than an iPhone 11 Pro in the certified refurbished market. Now, they come and go. So it's very competitive. If you make your way over here, you may see an iPhone one day and the next day you may not see it at all. So you kind of have to play it by ear in this specific example. So that is one kind of con with the certified refurbished iPhone, whereas in a used iPhone, you can pretty much go on eBay and let's say they don't have any iPhones there, you can make your way over to a different website or ask a friend or whatever the case is, and you can buy a used iPhone in so many other ways. Now, a certified refurbished iPhone can be classified as a used iPhone, and a used iPhone, if it's returned back to the provider and Apple fixes it up, that can also be a certified refurbished iPhone. But there are different things associated with both of these specific devices. Now, the first thing being with a certified refurbished iPhone from Apple, this is probably the closest thing you can buy to a used brand new device. This specific device, according to Apple, can give you discounts up to 15%, which, probably isn't the most, but it's something that's just the ease of convenience, which brings me to my next point, ease of convenience. Buying a certified refurbished iPhone is almost the same thing as buying a brand new iPhone. You don't have to talk to another person. You don't have to, try to lower the price, and you don't even have to worry about the condition or the shipping cases or anything like that. So pretty much what happens here is with something like a certified refurbished iPhone, you don't really have to do anything else that is outside of a brand new iPhone. Meaning, if anything goes wrong, if anything happens, you contact Apple, you can return the iPhone, and you can go from there. With a used iPhone, on the other hand, this is one of the more interesting aspects because I've bought a lot of certified refurbished iPhones and a lot of, used iPhones as well. And one of the bigger issues I've had with a used iPhone is sometimes I would get the iPhone and I would be able to use it, and occasionally something would happen. Sometimes. It's not every single time, and realistically, the last 2-3 years, nothing bad has really happened. But when I would purchase a device, I could see maybe there's a little bit more screen burn-in than maybe it showed in the pictures. Sometimes the pictures would say you're getting an iPhone like this, and maybe I would get one in worse condition. Sometimes there would be more scratches, and maybe the battery degradation has gone down even more than maybe I forgot to ask them. And very, very occasionally, and this is not to paint a bad picture with used iPhones because I love used iPhones, but sometimes you do get sellers who are very unethical, and they may go ahead and sell you an iPhone they know is compromised, maybe bad IMEI number, cannot be, maybe it doesn't have the iCloud unlocked, some other things like that. And it may be a little bit more of a hassle just for you to go ahead and get a used iPhone in that sense. However, with that being said, most of the time I've been able to go ahead and return those iPhones if it's in severe bad condition. So that was one thing that kind of goes with the used iPhone. You realistically have the same return dates and everything, so you can always return them and get your money back on both sides. But it really depends. You're communicating with a seller with a used iPhone, but with a certified refurbished iPhone, you're communicating directly with the actual, company, which is Apple. Now, in terms of condition, this is going to vary per iPhone you get. For a majority of the used iPhones I've bought, they've always had scratches. They've pretty much always had maybe a dent here, maybe a cracked back on my iPhone XS or XS Max, but you're able to go ahead and variable with the price tag. There's no haggling with the certified refurbished iPhone. So if you want, you can make your way to the certified refurbished Apple website. If a price looks good, you can buy it. There's no negotiating. There's no nothing like that. It's just really you buy the iPhone and you move on. But with the price of a used iPhone, even though there may be a little bit more hurdles you have to kind of jump through, you can realistically save hundreds and hundreds of dollars by purchasing a used iPhone over a certified refurbished iPhone. So what does this mean? Well, with a used iPhone, if you were using eBay as an example, if I see an iPhone, let's say it's an iPhone 10 and they're selling it for $370, well, I can go ahead and look at that iPhone and I could be like, hey, will you take $340 for it? I see there's maybe a scratch here and there. Will you take $340? And it's up to the seller as of that point. But we don't have that option with certified refurbished. So I like the ability of kind of, getting the price down as low as I can. But again, that does take a little bit more time. And if you're not comfortable doing that, you're pretty much just going to go ahead and be, whatever prices they give, you're pretty much going to have to go with that. However, if we look at the iPhone 11 Pros that Apple is currently selling on their certified refurbished store for $919 for a 512 gigabyte variant of the 11 Pro, you can buy you can get that same exact model of 11 Pro for probably around $600 in the used market. So you are saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But also, again, like I mentioned, the condition of that 11 Pro may not be as good as the condition of a certified refurbished iPhone. Since Apple guarantees the battery health is going to be, almost perfect, the condition of the iPhone is going to be almost perfect. You are getting an almost perfect, pretty much perfect brand new iPhone from them. But like I mentioned, it really just depends on the quantity of iPhones that Apple has. Currently, Apple is only selling a few different certified refurbished iPhones, whereas, with a used iPhone, you can buy any type of iPhone you want in the used market. You want an iPhone 13 Pro? You can find one in the used market. You want to buy an iPhone XS? You can find one in the used market. You want to buy an iPhone 4 or the first iPhone? You can go ahead and buy those iPhones. Those are available for you. So that is another big thing I like about buying a used iPhone. I don't have to wait until Apple gets them in-house and starts selling them. We can just go ahead and buy them in the used market. So I definitely will tell you there are pros and cons on both sides. But if you have all the money in the world, getting a certified refurbished iPhone is pretty much what makes the most amount of sense to me. It really doesn't make too much sense to go ahead and buy something outside of a certified refurbished iPhone if you have all the money. But even when compared to brand new iPhones, the quantity of certified refurbished iPhones, there's just not that many iPhones there, which is very sad. You can't really just go ahead and buy as many certified refurbished iPhones as you want because there's just not that many available. Whereas even on the brand new market, you're getting way more options there. But the best thing I would tell you is look at both sides. With a used iPhone, you're getting way more quantity. You can buy any type of iPhone you want in the used market. You can also go ahead and save a bunch of money by negotiating with the sellers. And even if you don't negotiate with them, you can still save a bunch of money, without even having the prices are already going to be much lower than certified refurbished. But everything is not perfect. Sometimes you do have to wait for delays in shipping. Sometimes you have to wait for the sellers to go ahead and, figure things out on their end to go and ship the devices. Sometimes you may get a device and it may not be in similar condition as they described it. Sometimes it can be in worse condition, and sometimes it can also be broken, and you're going to have to go ahead and wait to ship it back, and sometimes you have to pay for shipping back and all this other stuff. So there's pros and cons for both sides. If you're comfortable buying a used iPhone, it makes the most amount of sense to me in my opinion. But if you're not, I would always recommend checking out Apple's certified refurbished store and purchasing an iPhone that way as well. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.